Are you a foreign national and you are planning to travel to the Philippines and you would like to know what are the latest travel guidelines and protocols? Watch this video and find out. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Jamey Iris TALK TV, where we talk, where we chat, and where we discuss different topics such as travel guidelines and travel protocols, and also other information that will be relevant for you as a traveler who wants and plans to visit the Philippines. Are you a foreign national who would like to visit our beautiful country, the Philippines? Great news is that after 2 long years of closed borders, now the Philippines had opened its borders for travelers from different parts of the world, especially if you're coming from a country who does not require any visa to visit our country for the first 30 days. So what am I speaking about? That's something that we will discuss from this video. But first and foremost, let me welcome you. My name is Jamey, and I simply want to invite you to please subscribe to my channel if this is your first time to visit my video vlog, so that at least you'll get updated with the different video updates that I usually prepare for travelers who wants to go back to the Philippines or visit the Philippines for the first time. So for today, we will be talking about the latest travel protocol, including the one that was announced 2 days ago by our government, so that at least if you're planning to visit the Philippines to see your friends, to see your loved ones, or simply see the beauty of our country, then you'll know what you need to prepare. So these are the topics that we will be discussing for today. These are the topics that we will be discussing for today. Or for this video, we will be discussing the Foreign Tourist Arrival Guide to the Philippines for 2022. We have 3 main topics, which are the entry requirements, foreigners, visa types, and types of non-compliant foreigners. For the entry requirements, we'll be discussing the pre-departure and upon arrival requirements. And then for the foreigners, visa types, what are this? What visa will you be classified with? Are you coming from the visa-free countries, or are you coming from the countries that requires entry visa? And last but not the least is, when can a foreign traveler be classified as non-compliant during the pre-departure or upon arrival in the Philippines? So all of those we will be discussing from this video. Let's start with the first topic. For any foreigners who will be traveling to the Philippines, let us get to know what are the entry requirements. Everyone, what I did is prepare a summary guide for all of you so that at a glance you can see what are the requirements that are expected from me when I travel to the Philippines, and at the same time you can easily prepare for it. So let's start. Now at the first column you can see these are the pre-departure requirements for your entry to the Philippines. I summarized the 6 important pre-departure requirements that you have to prepare for fully vaccinated foreign travelers. So it's divided into 2 and then further divided into subcategories. We'll discuss each one in a little while, and then for former Filipinos, it's divided into 2. So for fully vaccinated foreign travelers, so the 2 major classifications will be EO408 citizens, meaning these are the foreign nationals who will be coming or flying from the non-visa required countries. And then for the other one will be, this will be foreign nationalities who will be required visa entry upon arrival. Now, we only have limited at this point in time nationalities that we are offering visa entry. So at this point in time, so far, we only have 9A visa and few other visas that the Bureau of Immigration are actually at this point in time given. For our foreign national travelers, so what is expected from all of you is you must be fully vaccinated. Anyone who's not fully vaccinated may not be able to enter the Philippines. And then it's divided into two major categories. One will be the EO408 citizens. It means that these foreign travelers will be coming from the 157 countries that doesn't require visa for the first 30 days when you arrive in the Philippines. So it's called EO408 citizens from non-visa required countries. And the second classification will be countries that will be required to present an entry visa upon arrival in the Philippines. Now, for the non-visa required countries or the EO408 citizens, it's divided into three. The first one will be the foreign tourist. And then the second one will be the foreign spouses and or children of former Filipinos traveling with them. For the third one, it will be the foreign spouse or children of former Filipinos traveling without the former Filipinos. And just like what I've shared a while ago, so the second major category will be the visa required from the foreign fully vaccinated traveler. So it can either be a 9A visa or other visas that at this point in time, our Bureau of Immigrations are allowed to issue as per what was declared by our government. Now, those are the classifications that we have for the fully vaccinated foreign traveler. Now, how about the former Filipinos? So we classified them or called them as balikbayans. Now, the balikbayans meaning they're coming back to our country. Now, it's categorized into two. If you are a former Filipino who do not have any Philippine passport at this point in time, so you are classified as former Filipinos. And then if you have the two citizenship, one is your foreign nationality and the other one you also have the Philippine passport, then you're classified as dual citizen. So this is how we categorized our arriving traveler for this chart. Now let's just take a look. What are the 6 pre-requirement documents that you have to prepare before you fly to the Philippines? So let us just take a look at the first one. Now, let us discuss the summary of this chart. By the way, everyone, what I will be showing to you is just a summary so that you'll have an idea. And then later on from this video, I'll discuss each one. What are the specific requirements and some pointers also and tips that I could actually give you. So let us start. For the first requirement, we have the vaccination certificate or card. So everyone from the category that we have just mentioned are required to present this. The second one will be the negative RT-PCR test result. So everyone again will be traveling to the Philippines will be required to present this at the airport or port of origin. Now, what are the requirements for this? Again, I'll discuss that later. Third one, the One Health Pass registration. This is the mandatory online registration form that all travelers will have to complete prior departure to the Philippines. Number 4, the passport. Now, for the passport, there is a specific requirement from the Philippines that it must be valid at least 6 months or more upon arrival. Now, all of you will be required except the dual citizen because the dual citizen will have the Philippine passport and just in case it's 6 months or less, the dual citizen can actually renew it in our country. Return ticket. Now, the last two actually, the return ticket and the next one are the latest 2 new requirements for any foreign traveler who will be traveling or flying to the Philippines. So let us just take a look who are required to actually present this. As you can see from the summary, only foreign tourists from visa-free countries are required to present this, while the rest, since you are related or either the balikbayan himself or herself, then you don't need to present a return ticket because from the balikbayan benefits or privileges, you can stay more than 30 days in the Philippines. Oops, wait. Some of you might be wondering, for the foreign tourists from visa-free countries, can I not stay more than 30 days, Jamey? I'll answer that later. So the summarized answer, I'll answer it now. But then again, the long version for the detailed answer to that question, what are the procedures that you have to do or the steps, I will definitely record that in another video. Last but certainly not the least, one of the latest requirements for the following will be the travel insurance. So who is required to present a travel insurance? So all foreign nationals are required to present a travel insurance that costs or has a coverage of 35,000 US dollars that will cover your stay here in the Philippines for any possible COVID-19 treatment. Now, except the dual citizen, because again, they have dual citizenship, so they are not required to present any travel insurance. So everyone, this is the summary that we have when it comes to your departure requirements for your entry in the Philippines. Now, let me discuss to you each one in details. Let's start with the fully vaccinated status. So again, all of you are expected as foreign nationals to enter the Philippines as fully vaccinated. You may enter the Philippines if you are fully vaccinated, except only minor children below 12 years of age traveling with their fully vaccinated foreign parents will be allowed entry to the Philippines. And then in addition to this, now, when we talk about fully vaccinated, so you must have received the second dose in a two-dose series or a single dose vaccine more than 14 days already from the date and time of departure from the country of origin or port of embarkation. And lastly, the vaccine that you've had must be included in any of the following: EUA list of compassionate special permit issued by the Philippine Food and Drug Authority. And the second one, it must be in the emergency use listing of the World Health Organization. So these are actually what will be expected from you once you say that you are fully vaccinated and you're a foreign national. Now, let us just take a look at the prerequisite or the entry requirements that we have just mentioned and discussed a while ago. So now, let us just take a look at the details of the summarized list of pre-requirements for entry to the Philippines that I have discussed earlier. So let's start with number 1. For the first one, it's all about the proofs of vaccination that you're fully vaccinated when you fly to the Philippines. So what will be actually taken a look at by our government will be the following. You must at least have any of these 3. So the first one will be the World Health Organization International Certificate of Vaccination and Prophylaxis, or the yellow card. Or if you got vaccinated here in the Philippines, you travel to your home country and then you are coming back here in the Philippines, then you can actually request for the vaccination certificate from VaxCert PH as our national digital certificate for vaccination. And last but not the least, if you are coming from the country that has reciprocal agreement with the Philippines, you can actually present your national or state digital certificate of the foreign government which has accepted VaxCert PH under a reciprocal arrangement unless otherwise permitted by the IATF. So these are the 3 types of certificate for vaccination for COVID-19 that are accepted in the Philippines. So you might be wondering, Jamey, what will happen just in case we have presented a vaccination certificate, but we don't have any of these 3 certificates. So what could possibly happen, everyone, is you can still fly, or you may still fly to the Philippines. However, as I will discuss at the latter part of this video, you might have to follow certain protocols or procedures in case your vaccination certificates are actually or is actually not accepted in the Philippines. I'll discuss that in details later. Number 2. Negative RT-PCR test result that you have to present at the port of origin at the airport. So let us just take a look. It says here that you have to present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to the date and time of your departure from the country of origin, or the first port of embarkation in a continuous travel to the Philippines, excluding layovers. Now, provided that you have not left the airport premises or have not been admitted into another country during such layover. Let me give you more examples. I'll give you 3 examples for this. Because again, when we fly or when we travel, we might have different types of flight. It could be a direct flight, it could be a flight with a transit or layover, or it could be a flight with multiple local flights. So the question is, Jamey, when can we have our swab test taken? As we comply to the 48-hour rule that you have mentioned as part of the entry requirements for the Philippines. That's something that I will share to you from these examples. Let us just take a look. Example letter A. Now, let us just say, if you will be taking a direct flight, if you'll be coming from the Dubai International Airport, estimated time of departure will be February 25, 2022 at 3 p.m. Arrival estimated time will be February 26, 2022, 1:35 a.m. The question is, when? When can you have your swab testing taken? So one thing that we will be taking into consideration from this example is, where will you be basing the counting of 48 hours? So please remember, it will always be based from the time and date of your actual departure going to the Philippines. So in this example, it will be your departure time and date from Dubai International Airport. So that will be February 25, 2022, 3 p.m. So from February 25, less or just deduct 2 days. So it means that you will have to, okay, you can take a look at February 23, 2022. So that will be from 3 p.m. So you have to take into consideration the time simply because it's time sensitive. So what our government specified was it should be 48 hours, within 48 hours from the time of departure. So we have to take into consideration the time. Now, another is a lot of people are confused. So, Jamey, when does the 48-hour window start? And does it say it has to be prompt on the dot 48 hours? Actually, it is within 48 hours and it doesn't have to be exactly 48 hours before your flight. Must be within, okay, can be exact, but can never be over than 48 hours. So from this example, you can actually have your swab test taken starting from February 23, 2022 at 3 p.m. or onward. So what does it mean? You can have your swab test taken either 4 p.m., by 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., as long as the swab test center is actually still open. And please, just make sure, okay, ask the swab test provider, when can you get your swab test the earliest? Because if you can get it the earliest, the better. You can have several hours. I mean, you can get it several hours before your flight, and then you can still upload it from the online registration system that you are all mandatory to actually complete before your flight. Jamey, what is that? That is called One Health Pass. However, I will not be discussing it from this video. I'll give you a glimpse, and I prepared like a solo tutorial for you so that at least you can actually follow it step by step. So again, everyone, if you'll be flying February 25, 2022 at 3 p.m., you can have your swab test taken starting February 23, 2022, 3 p.m. onwards. Now, how about, Jamey, if I have a flight that has layover, stopover, or transit? What can I do? And when can I schedule my swab test? Let us take a look. If you will be traveling to the Philippines with a layover, stopover, or transit flights, so please take this into consideration. When we say layover, it has a stop that lasts less than 24 hours. If it has a stopover, it means it lasts more than 24 hours. And if it's a transit, then it simply means that this is the act of returning to the same aircraft after your layover at the airport. Now let us just take a look. Let us just say this is your flight. Same time, okay, February 25, 2022, departing from Dubai International Airport at 3 p.m. However, what's different is you will have a layover or transit at Hong Kong International Airport, and you'll be arriving in the Philippines on February 26, 8:35 a.m. So the question will be, Jamey, shall I base the 48-hour from Dubai International Airport or from the departure from Hong Kong airport? Or do we still need to count the travel time to NAIA? The answer to this is you will not be basing it from the layover, and you will not be counting the travel hours going or flying to NAIA. Instead, you will, the same as a while ago, base it from your date and time of departure from your port of origin. So that will be February 25, 2022. Again, deduct 2 days, so that will be February 23, 2022, again, time sensitive, 48 hours, so you will base it from 3 p.m. onwards, not earlier. So what does this mean, everyone? Same as I've mentioned earlier, you can have your swab test taken within that 48-hour range. So that could be between 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m. even, as long as you can confirm with the swab test provider that they can actually provide the results to you several hours before your flight. So again, you have to upload that from the online registration system called One Health Pass. Now, you know when can you have your swab test taken for a direct flight and also a flight with a layover, stopover, or transit flight. Now, the last example that I'll be giving to you. What if I do have multiple local flights, Jamey? When can I base the time and date of my swab testing? So let us just take a look at this example. Most of the time, it will happen for countries that are quite big, and it has like several airports that you have to actually fly from before you could actually get to an international airport. For example, Canada, Saudi Arabia, and of course, the United States. These are just some of the countries. It could also be like, for example, again, China, but then again, depends on the visa at this point in time that we have. So again, for those examples, so we have either Canada, Saudi Arabia, or the USA. Now, from this example, this is from someone who's flying from Canada. So let us just say you are from Quebec, and you'll fly locally from Quebec to Toronto, and then from Toronto to Vancouver Airport. So you have several flights before you actually reach the international airport. Now, the question is, where will I be basing my 48-hour window time for my swab testing? Is it in Quebec Airport, Toronto Airport departure, or at the Vancouver Airport departure? The answer is, of course, you have to base it from the Vancouver International Airport, because as per the protocol, it says departure from the country of origin or the first port of embarkation in a continuous travel to the Philippines. So Toronto and the Quebec and Toronto flights will not be counted, but what will be counted for the swab testing timings will be for swab testing date and time will be from the Vancouver Airport. So if you'll be flying from February 26, 2022, 11 p.m., it means you can have your swab test taken again minus 2 days. That will be February 24, 11 p.m. onwards. Not earlier, but you can definitely have it onwards now. What's the challenge with this? Most of the time by 12 midnight, all the swab testing centers might be closed. Maybe only for some countries it will be open, but most of it might be closed. So can I take my swab test at the earliest when they open in the morning? Yes, you may. So for example, it could be 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., or 9 a.m. on February 25. You may do that, but please ensure, tell them that this is part of your prerequisite or entry requirement to your travel for your travel to the Philippines. Ask them again, when is the earliest I can get this? And if you can, at least talk to them. If they say it's quite late, can they do something to expedite the process, because you actually really need it for your flight. So hoping that they can give it to you several hours before your flight so that you can still upload the result on the One Health Pass platform. form. So that's it, everyone. So I hope this helped you. Now that you know how you can actually schedule or when can you have your swab test taken, either if you'll be taking a direct flight, a flight with a layover or transit or stopover, and of course, for the flights that has multiple local flights. Just an overview, everyone, though we will not be discussing this in details because I have a separate video that will thoroughly discuss all this. So again, the form that I kept mentioning is all about this One Health Pass. So you have to complete this mandatorily online before your flight to the Philippines, and at the same time, all travelers who will be arriving in different airports in the Philippines are expected to complete this, and you will get a QR code that you have to either screenshot or print a copy of. So again, what is this? Please watch my tutorial video. So this is in English that will actually guide you on how to complete the One Health Pass. What is One Health Pass? It also will answer these questions. Who needs to complete this? When do you need to complete the online registration? And what documents do you need to upload? And last but not the least, what is this OHP QR code that I just had mentioned to you? So all of those will be discussed in details from this English tutorial video. This is the third requirement that I had given from the list. Complete the One Health Pass online registration form. Now let us just take a look at the fourth one. So once again, when it comes to the passport requirement, for the fourth requirement for entry to the Philippines, so all the foreign nationals except the dual citizen are required to present a passport that is at least 6 months or more valid from the time of arrival. And please do not forget the fifth entry requirement will be the return ticket. Now, based from what I've shared to you, only the foreign nationals coming or flying from the visa-free country will be required to provide a valid return ticket for your journey to the port of origin or next port of destination not later than 30 days from the date of your arrival in the Philippines. Number six will be the travel insurance. Now, all foreign nationals must obtain a travel insurance for COVID-19 treatment cost for from reputed insurers with a minimum coverage of $35 for the duration of your stay in the Philippines. So everyone, just like the tip I've been giving the other foreign nationals who are my subscribers and also are watching the video. So if you have, for example, an existing insurance coverage, can you please check with the insurance company if they also cover the COVID-19 treatment internationally, especially with your travel to the Philippines, and then ask a proof or a letter that they do actually cover this, so that at least you don't need to buy or purchase another what we call travel insurance that has at least minimum 35,000 US dollars coverage. So these are the 6 entry requirements for you to enter the Philippines. Now, additional information regarding your arrival in the Philippines. So let us just take a look. So once you arrive in the Philippines, so you will have to take this into consideration. So the latest testing and protocol for quarantine in place in the Philippines for fully vaccinated international passengers. So the same for Filipino nationals. So it will be the same for you. So once you're in the Philippines, if you've met all those criteria that were mentioned earlier, then you will not have any facility-based hotel quarantine, and you will be required to only complete the 7-day home quarantine, or if you'll be staying in a hotel yourself that you have booked, not a quarantine hotel but a staycation hotel, then you have to complete the 7-day home quarantine, and you simply have to do the self-monitoring for any signs of symptoms. The counting of day 1 will start from your day of arrival in the Philippines. And last but not the least, please, as you self-monitor for any manifestations of symptoms, we hope not, but if there are some manifestations, please make sure to report this to your local government unit of destination. For example, again, you will be staying in the Manila area. What particular in Manila? Is it in Makati? Is it, if, for example, in Quezon City? So if you are, then you will have to report to the LGU in your area. You can always ask your friends, or if you're staying in the hotel, then ask the reception so that at least they can point you to the right direction. Additional information. Now, for fully vaccinated nationals, then what will happen is additional information. If you will be traveling with foreign children with Filipino nationals, then the foreign child or children below 12 years of age who are not vaccinated for any reason whatsoever and traveling with the Filipino parent shall follow the entry, testing, and quarantine protocols of their Filipino parent traveling with them. So what does this mean? So even if they are not vaccinated, that is fine. If their parents are, of course, must be fully vaccinated, then they definitely have to follow that and they can go home immediately after arrival from the airport. However, everyone, please take note of this. Foreign nationals entering through 9A visa. Now, foreign children or children from ages 12 to 17 years of age traveling with Filipino parent shall follow the protocol based on their vaccination status. Now, in case of unvaccinated minor, children, either foreign or Filipino parents should accompany such child or children during their facility-based quarantine. So again, everyone, for minors who are 12 years old until 17, since they can be vaccinated already, and if they are not, they will be considered as unvaccinated. So therefore, they have to follow the protocol that we have for unvaccinated individuals or what we call citizens. So what does it mean? They will have to stay in a hotel or a quarantine hotel, and their swab test will happen on the 5th day. They can actually book for at least 6 days and 5 nights because the result may come out or may be released on the 6th day because it's 24 to 48 hours. And you have to continue doing what we call a home quarantine of a total of 14 days. So just in case your unvaccinated minor will be arriving in the Philippines, so these are for your unvaccinated minors from 12 to 17 years old who will arrive with you in the Philippines. Topic number 2. Let us just take a look. So when we talk about foreign travelers visa types, what are these? We have 2 types of visas for foreign nationals. The first one, or V1, the first type of visa, or V1, these are for foreign citizen national of the visa-free countries under EO 408 Series 1960 whose stay will not exceed 30 days in the Philippines. And V2 will be for foreign nationals requiring visa. Now, the visa type may vary as per country of origin of a foreign traveler. By the way, everyone, V1, V2 is just my own coding so for us to actually understand it. But then again, for the government and the protocols, they call it as is. For foreign tourists, now a total of 157 countries are considered visa-free, including the US, South Korea, Japan, Australia, Canada, UK, Malaysia, and Singapore. Now, these are the countries that are under Executive Order 408. Please take a look if your country is listed from this list. So that's it, everyone. Countries under Executive Order 408 who does not require any visa upon entry for a maximum of 30 days. Now, V2. IATF Resolution number 160D. Now, foreign nationals required to enter with visa. So it could either be the 9A visa or other types of visa that the Bureau of Immigrations are now allowed to issue. At this point in time, not all foreign nationals coming or flying from the country that requires entry visa are allowed. So there are only a number of, so that is something that we will actually further find out later on if that will be changing anytime in the future. Now, foreign nationals who may enter the Philippines through an entry exemption document issued under existing IATF rules and regulations. So again, what does this mean? They can enter through a 9A visa. Now, anyone who has EO 408 foreign nationals from the visa-free countries intending to stay beyond 30 days for the purpose other than tourism? So again, this answers the question that we have actually asked a while ago. Can foreigners from the visa-free country stay more than 30 days ago? The answer is yes. All they simply have to do is again make a request for that, but how? That will be discussed in my other video. Now for the meantime, the second one will be the not covered or qualified as balikbayan, and the third will be foreign nationals from visa-required countries or restricted foreign nationals. So again, these are who may enter the Philippines through an entry exemption document or EED issued under existing IATF rules and regulations. Now for the next one, now again, for any foreign nationals required to enter through 9A visa, so for Filipino citizens, foreign spouse, or foreign children who are not nationals of the EO 408 visa-free country, whether or not traveling with the Filipino citizen, are from the visa-required countries but are not actually traveling with a Filipino, and who are restricted nationals may enter the country without the need of the EED. Now, what does it mean? You may enter the country without the need of EED or entry exemption document, provided that you have been issued a 9A visa with the appropriate visa notation. So please take note of this, everyone, so that at least if any of the foreign nationals that you know or you yourself would like to travel to the Philippines, you can take this into consideration. Now, for the balikbayans, please remember, if you're a spouse, bring your marriage certificate, and you'll be not traveling with whether you're traveling or not with a Filipino or former Filipino, as a spouse, please bring the marriage certificate, and for the children, the birth certificate, proving the relationship with the former Filipino. Non-compliant traveler type. So when does this happen? I hope you will not fall into this category or to this classification once you travel to the Philippines. So let us just get to know more about this. So when does a traveler become a non-compliant traveler during the pre-departure? Now, if visa-free foreign nationals who fail to fully comply with the conditions and requisites shall be therefore denied entry into the country and shall be subject to the appropriate exclusion proceedings. How about non-compliant traveler types upon arrival? Now, what does this mean and when does this happen? Now, on the first day that we have welcomed and opened the borders for foreign nationals, so there were some foreign nationals who are fully vaccinated. However, when they presented their vaccination certificate, it's not any of the three that I mentioned to you earlier. So what was advised for the foreign national who was vaccinated but did not have any of the three proofs? So what will happen if you're a foreign national and you don't have any of the three required vaccination certification or document that was mentioned earlier? Then you will be asked to undergo a facility-based quarantine. Swab testing will happen on the 5th day. You may stay in the hotel at least 6 days, 5 nights. Home quarantine will be until 14 days from the day of arrival, counting the day of arrival as day 1. And you have to report just in case of any manifestations of the symptoms from your LGUs or local government unit or BHERTs or the Barangay Health Emergency Response Team of respective destination, and you will be tasked to monitor your signs and symptoms. Now, the LGUs and BHERTs of respective destinations are tasked to monitor these arriving passengers. So LGU stands for Local Government Unit, and BHERTS will be the Barangay Health Emergency Response Team. So with that, everyone, I hope this video, you find it helpful and informative. So please, I'm inviting you to please like and subscribe to my channel so that you'll get more updates regarding this. So once again, let me summarize. For this video, you have learned what are the entry requirements pre-departure and upon arrival to the Philippines. What are the two different visa types from the visa-free countries and countries requiring entry visa. And last but not the least, now you know the conditions when a foreign traveler can become classified as non-compliant. And I hope we can avoid that. So again, it could either happen during the pre-departure or the upon arrival. So with that, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I simply want to say, have a blessed flight when you fly to the Philippines. And so once again, I'm inviting you to please subscribe to my channel so that you'll get updated with the recent videos regarding travel protocols and guidelines and other relevant information that will be very helpful for you. So with that, everyone, this is Jamey Iris of Jamey Iris Talk TV, simply saying, have a great day, stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless you all. See you in my next video.